members of the Students Association, and members of the National Council, FNU National Council. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It gives me great pleasure today to address the FNU Students' Council and other members on a workshop which is really befitting the occasion. As a Students' Association body, one has to be in line with the evolving leadership that we see in the modern world. So it gives me great pleasure to be here at your workshop, at your leadership workshop. First of all, congratulations to FNU Students Association for taking up leadership role in your university. Because as leaders, you not only provide guidance to your fellow students or look after their welfare, but you influence them in many ways. That is what leadership is all about. Student organization offer experiences that you cannot get in a classroom. It enhances your university experience. You will gain skills, build develop soft skills, broaden your knowledge, and even prepare you for future career in other leadership positions. And I can reflect on my own self as to how I came into leadership role. It takes me back many years when I was appointed the head girl of MGM High School. And I recall succinctly that the vice principal entered classrooms and he started giving the badges. And when he gave the badge, he did not put it on, but he just gave the badge and said, you cannot turn it over, just leave it the way it is. So you can't see the badge. It was just facing downwards. And then he said that now you can turn it around. And when I turned my badge around, it said head girl. And I genuinely thought he made a mistake. I walked up to him and I said, I think you made a mistake. He said, no, I didn't. So you can see as a woman, sometimes we don't have that level of confidence. We feel that we are not ready to lead. And I demonstrated that at a very young age when I was asked to lead the school. And later on, I realized that no matter what it is, if people can see qualities in you, you got to believe in it and prove it to them. So that's how my leadership role started. It did not end there. It did not end there. When I went to university, again, I was appointed as a member of the Students' Council, and this was abroad. With a mixture of nationals from many other countries. So there was, again, I was taken aback that I've been chosen. So sometimes it's not you, but the situation that pushes you in the leadership role. To take up that position. But there are others who believe in you and they'll push you into that role. And some of you may have experienced the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, do note that leadership position also provides an opportunity to interact with your community in times of disasters or simply to assist in one way or another. These are all very enriching experiences that makes you understand and appreciate your engagement at community level. I understand that FNU Students Association is the parent body of 10 campus students association. The main responsibility of Students Association is almost similar world over, nothing new. To look after the welfare of students, whether directly or in consultation with the relevant sections of the university. In your case, you work with the Office of the Vice Chancellor and the Senior Management Group to ensure that students get the best of facilities and value for money. Both are critically important. Your association's mission is to unite the voices of the students by accommodating, facilitating, assisting, and promoting the holistic development of students at the Fiji National University. And I have seen from the far, you have been doing a great job. Now, to lead a student's body, and to do this, the executives of the association require leadership skills to dialogue with the university on student issues. Leadership does not mean power. Some people think, okay, now I'm leading, so I've got a lot of power. I will call that abuse of power. Often we have come across examples where association works against the university in a way that does not resolve the problem but makes it more complicated. But I've seen a change in culture over the years where the university is working hand in hand with student body. I will recommend a dialogue-based leadership where you can put your case with justification and work in partnership with the university. Putting up a case with justification is extremely important, and it needs to be backed by evidence, needs to be backed by solid data. If you do that, then no one, absolutely no one, can deny whatever you are pursuing because it becomes crystal clear. Now, with leadership comes responsibility and accountability. Today, a good leader is recognized as someone who can influence a person to make a choice. Traditionally, we think that a leader leads and others follow. That's how we were thinking. Not in the modern world. So, as you go through your workshop, I would like you to think about this and perhaps reflect on how, with changing times, your roles as leaders are evolving. You need to dwell a little bit more time on this. In today's world, a good leader is recognized by the following attributes: integrity, ability to delegate, communication, and particularly being a good listener, self-awareness, gratitude, learning agility, influence, and empathy. Gone are the days when leaders were authoritative or autocratic. It's my way or highway. In the modern world, the leadership roles have evolved. Here too, I want you to reflect on yourselves as individuals and see what kind of a leader you are and how you can become a better leader in these modern times. We have certain expectations from our student leaders. We expect them to be fair-minded, positive, and caring representatives of students. We want you to actively demonstrate, promote, and encourage involvement in creating a positive environment for students. The Fijian government continues to invest heavily in education to build a knowledge-based society. And for your information, in the last budget, over $420 million have been invested in education. And every year, the government is investing a very large sum of money in education. And what we expect from investing this money is simply students coming out of universities who can fit into the workforce. And they can then assist in the social, cultural, and economic development of a nation. That's what we expect. So investment in education, this means that we expect our student leaders to give students the right directions in a fair and equitable environment. Government has made provisions for topper scheme and TELS, and I'll be urging the Students Association body to raise more awareness on this so that students, not in the university, but future students as well, they understand their responsibility towards these schemes. For FNU, in the 2021-22 national budget, the Fijian government announced 5,000 new funded places for TVET courses through TELS. And I think this announcement speaks volume about the belief the government has in FNU as an institution, our very own institution. Our commitment to education has and will always remain our main priority. We will not move away from that. Education in the 21st century is about giving students the skills they need to succeed, because knowledge is all here, information is all here. But how you use this information, what skills you require to apply that information, that becomes important in life. Universities today focus on the use of technology-enabled learning. For many, this has been a practice, but for some, this was a matter of survival when COVID-19 pandemic struck. Even today, for many students, this is not a means of learning they prefer, but this is the new norm, or you can call it the future. There will continue to be many issues in this change in education. And as student leaders, it becomes your responsibility to help your university in this transition, while encouraging your fellow students to embrace this change, because you are at the crossroad. You have experienced face-to-face learning, and now we are saying we are transitioning into e-learning. So you are at the crossroad. You will always compare face-to-face learning is good, if you prefer that mode, or you will say e-learning is good if you prefer that mode. But in future, things will definitely change. So I do understand that students, they have concerns regarding e-learning. Some students, not all. Because I consider the students of this generation as tech-savvy. They know more about technology than the older generation. Now, often you will find that associations or unions representing staff or students take it upon themselves to confront the employer on issues without reasons, just to be seen to be doing something. Now, that is old tactic, that is old style. This used to be how associations or unions worked. Today, unions or associations play an important role in creating a partnership to get the best for their members. And that's the change I'm seeing in student bodies. I want you to think about the approach that you take with your university. And it's quite interesting to note that student bodies world over, they work in partnership with universities, because university as well as the students' body, they want the same thing. Maybe the approach are different. And as I said, traditional leadership is outdated. And more student bodies world over have embraced the modern leadership that we see today. Now, Fiji has seen its fair share of turmoil over the past 18 months or so, with the COVID-19 pandemic and 2 cyclones that affected lives and livelihood of many. I'm pleased to know that the FNU Student Association, and I want to acknowledge them, that they came forward after the cyclones to provide relief to the affected families. The Student Association also assisted students during COVID-19, and I did see that you went with food packs and you distributed food packs to the students during this pandemic. Now, this is what I call compassion, and you demonstrated one attribute of leadership skills. So this demonstrates the compassion of the leaders, which is very important quality of good leadership. You have also helped with scholarships, I understand. So again, you are standing by the students and assisting them as and when they need assistance. So I want to thank you for that. I commend your efforts in supporting the affected families and students and hope that you continue to show this compassion because it speaks volumes about the kind of leaders you are. You must remember that you contribute towards the type of graduates coming out from FNU, and I want to emphasize that, the type of graduates coming out from FNU. So if graduates entering the workforce fail to perform, you need to ask yourselves why. Because as student association, you also have a role to play. As national leaders of tomorrow, you need to be fully versed with the goals and aspirations of your government. Take some time out to go through Fiji's National Development Plan, which is a 20-year plan. This was developed with extensive consultation with Fijians and reflects the aspirations of the nation. And I'm recommending that you go through that because there is a section on education. FNU Strategic Plan 2021 to 2026 under Pillar 3, Student Experience, it aligns with the core objectives of the NDP. And I quote, all Fijians will be empowered with education and skill set so that they may be easily absorbed into the workforce. A key focus will be on skills development and turning job seekers into job creators, unquote. So one of the deliverables in the strategic plan is to develop opportunities and trainings for enhanced student engagement and involvement across all areas of university life in partnership with the Fiji National University Students Association. It's been recognized by FNU in the strategic plan to celebrate student success and championing a culture of mutual respect and co-creation between students and staff. So you can see that your association has a leadership role to play in the work of FNU. Your responsibilities as leaders do not end when you leave the university. You must be committed to passing the vision of the nation to your successors and continue taking up leadership role in your community, at your workplace, and at national level. Some people may say that leaders are usually born. However, many researchers state that they are made, since all individuals undergo personal growth during major part of their lives. So never feel that you cannot be a leader. You can learn to be a leader. I hope I have given some ideas that will help you reflect, regroup, and chart out a way forward as you go through your workshop discussions. I thank you again for inviting me to address you this morning and wish you very best in your deliberations on leadership. Vinaka, thank you and dhanyavad.